Hey YouTube, welcome back. So in this video we're going to take a look at stonewalling. I'm going to read a brief paragraph from an article explaining stonewalling. So I'll give a couple of examples first. Okay, so stonewalling is a technique that not just narcissists use, not just toxic people use. Sometimes it's a tactic. I know I've used it before unknowingly and not realised how me doing that was affecting whoever it was that was around me. Because stonewalling is pretty much to not give somebody an answer, to shut down, blank them, ghost them, and pull your energy back, and typically be quite cold, you could say, okay, because you're just giving nothing, you're not explaining anything, you won't talk. So I know in issues back in my family, when my parent or birth giver was trying to, I don't know, trigger me or get me going, or she would keep saying things to annoy me or frustrate me or to put me down or to push me to having some huge reaction, okay, my choice of method to handle a lot of that would be to stonewall her and just basically shut down and not give her any answer. Now inside I'd be a wreck, okay, on the verge of tears, but it would be solemn face. I'm not letting you know that you've got to me or that you're hurting me and upsetting me, and I would pull back, but inside I would be a wreck. So but if it's in a relationship, for example, because I learned to do that as a child as a way to ward off any abuse, any incoming abuse or any incoming engagement that was going to be abusive, all right? I would just shut down and disassociate. But my responses would be similar to stonewalling, okay? I would give one-word answers. If my birth giver was to say to me, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your face?" I would just go, "Nothing. Nothing." Right? I wouldn't explain what was going on inside me and how upset I was, which it wouldn't have been received well. See, that was the trick. Get you to open up and tell you what's wrong, why you're upset, and then you would be abused even more psychologically, even hit if you said the wrong thing about how you felt. So stonewalling for me became a learned behavior that I've had to switch and change, and now I have to communicate. So rather than if I was having horrendous issues, say now, or felt triggered, or my PTSD kicks in, right? And obviously I have children, so I would say to whoever's around me, I'm not okay right now, I just need to be quiet and not talk about this, okay? So I would communicate it. Then, you see, this is how stonewalling becomes abusive and toxic, because you leave the other individual, whoever you're doing it to, in a position of not knowing what's going on. It's like a mind game, because they're asking you what's wrong, right? And you're just giving them one-word answers. There's an atmosphere, there's tension, but you won't explain to them what the problem is. So a healthy way, because we often shut down, sometimes we do get upset and hurt in disagreements or arguments, and the stonewalling behaviour can often just come out of us and we don't even recognise we're doing it. So today, and trying to be more healthy about my own toxic behaviour, when I feel inclined to shut down or to pull away in real life, now I would communicate, "I'm not okay, I just can't talk about it now. Can I just go away and be on my own for a bit? It's not you, it's me." that old cliche, it's not you, it's me, because it is me, okay? I'm the one having the issues. I can't deal with the conversation right now, so it's better to articulate in a healthy way. I can't carry on with this debate, this conversation right now. I don't feel okay. It's not you. I just need to get myself together. I just need some time, okay? That would be a more healthy response rather than the stonewalling, because when you're doing the stonewalling, you're often given the silent treatment as well, which the silent treatment, again, is emotionally and psychologically abusive. So if you articulate that you don't feel okay, you need to go away and be on your own and be quiet, that is a healthy way to handle things. Whereas a narcissist will use the stonewalling and the silent treatment, and it is meant to cause damage, to mess with your head. It is a total mind game. It causes a lot of uneasiness and issues in the mind, overthinking, ruminating, stressing out, all kinds, okay? It is very toxic to do to another individual. So I'm going to read a little bit from this article talking about stonewalling, and this is from Gottman.com, and the article is called The Four Horsemen and Stonewalling. Right, so I will just jump in. Stonewalling is, well, what it sounds like. In a discussion or argument, the listener withdraws from the interaction, shutting down and closing themselves off from the speaker because they are feeling overwhelmed or physiologically flooded. Metaphorically speaking, they build a wall between them and the partner. Rather than confronting the issue, someone who is stonewalling will be totally unresponsive, making evasive maneuvers such as tuning out, turning away, acting busy, or engaging in obsessive behaviours. It takes time for the negativity created to become overwhelming enough that stonewalling becomes an understandable out. Okay, so that kind of describes how it was for me as a child, teenager, young adult. It became my out to withdraw from any abuse that was going on. But then it became a habit, okay? It became a habit that I have had to switch up and just switch it, totally switch it. Hang on, so where was it up to? Enough that the stonewalling becomes an understandable out, but when it does, it frequently becomes a habit. If you're more of, that's just about a clip. Okay, so when you are making every effort to address a problem, whether you are attempting to talk about something that is upsetting you, explain your feelings about an ongoing area of conflict, or try to reach a resolution, and your partner is pretending that you're not there, you are likely to reach a level of frustration or anger so high that you psychologically and emotionally check out as well. Trying to communicate with someone who is acting in this way can be very frustrating, and if the stonewalling continues, infuriating, right? So the narcissist will utilize stonewalling to do all of that, to cause you to reach such a level of frustration or anger that high that you emotionally check out as well, and you become infuriated, all right? It really triggers your mind typically into acting out. There's usually a very verbally aggressive or verbally abusive outburst, okay? It triggers you. It's very effective, put it that way, because when you've got love and care for somebody and you're trying to communicate with them, and say it's with the narcissist, and they're stonewalling you, right? And you love this person and you need answers. You're trying to ask them, I don't know, who was that person that texted you? Who was that girl that was calling your phone? And they're stonewalling you. Or how come you were late home from work and they're just giving you stonewalling answers? I mean, put yourself in that position. It has the what's the word? Oh my God, why do I always forget my words? It sends you over the edge when somebody's doing it. It's very, very, very effective. This article goes on to ask, what's the antidote to stonewalling? So when one person begins stonewalling, usually they are physiologically flooded, which has a number of indicators, i.e. an increased heart rate, the release of stress hormones into the bloodstream, and even a fight or flight response, which describes me as a child, teenager, and young adult. When that happens, it is impossible to continue discussing the issue at hand in a rational and respectful way. You're simply too physiologically agitated to do so. And you are. When I would shut down and be in that state, I was at breaking point inside. Absolute breaking point. I am, a bit of a trigger warning. I can remember like pinching myself or squeezing myself to make the pain and everything that was building up inside, so I would not focus on it, because it would get that intense and that bad, okay? And you're trying to hold all this in while you're being picked apart by your birth giver, I don't know, in front of your siblings or peers, and like you just want the ground to swallow you up, you just want it to stop and it won't stop, and you're expected to keep responding politely as though you're absolutely fine, absolutely fine. So I totally relate to that part. So the first part of the antidote to stonewalling is just to stop, okay? But however, this is a bit easier said than done. If you try to stop the argument and walk away single-handedly, that could be interpreted by your partner as an even bigger display of stonewalling, and it could escalate the situation. What you'll need to do is, if this is in a relationship, agree ahead of time of an appropriate and recognisable way to take a break. Think of a neutral signal that you and your partner can use in a conversation to let each other know when one of you feels flooded with emotion. This can be a word, a phrase, a physical motion, or simply a raising of both hands into a stop position. Come up with your own. And if you choose a silly or ridiculous signal, you may find that the very use of it helps to de-escalate the situation. I.e., so pretty much, if you are stonewalling somebody, if you're guilty of doing that, and you are feeling flooded, say that you need a break, using whatever signal, word or phrase you and your partner or friend have decided upon. Let each other know that you're feeling overwhelmed. So this is how we would handle stonewalling in the non-narcissistic mindset, okay? However, if somebody is stonewalling you in a relationship or a friendship, this occurs a lot, okay? And there's never any... See how it explains here? You would have a conversation with that individual about it, and you would say, well, like how this stonewalling affects me when you do that, when you just walk away or turn your back on me or start doing something else, it's hurtful to watch you do that. So when you're feeling that way, instead of doing that and turning your back on me, you know, use the signal, the phrase, put the hands up, whichever it is, choose whatever according to yourself. That's how healthy people would handle the stonewalling, all right? And here's how you're going to know what you're dealing with. If you're telling somebody who's stonewalling you how it's affecting you, and they continue to do it and continue to do it and continue to do it, understanding consciously what they're doing to you, it becomes abusive. It's psychologically abusive to keep stonewalling somebody. So that brings me to the close of this video, talking about stonewalling. I do hope this helped. Share your thoughts below. Consider subscribing if you haven't. I hope you're all keeping well. Love lots, and until next time, bye for now.